Yes, boys and girls, tough cookies of the world, how lucky are we tonight to be joined in conversation with one of my heroes, one of my inspirations, my good friend, an icon of Philadelphia broadcasting, my good friend, Miss Patti Jackson. How are you, Patti?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. A lot of power outages, the storms, but we're hanging in here.
Patti, for those of the tough cookies that don't know, I hope you don't mind if I talk about you for a moment. I got to fill
Okay.
these people in. I want you to know we have people from over 40 countries that watch this show.
Okay.
We have people in South Africa and Austria and Japan, Canada, all over South America. And I just want to take a minute so that they know of which I speak, the icon of Philadelphia broadcasting, Patti Jackson. You began your career in New Jersey, in Camden, New
Mm-hmm.
Jersey. It was a station that used to be called WCAM, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yes. Yes.
And if you don't mind, when was that? How long ago?
I started in January of 1982. I graduated in high school that June of 81. I went to a broadcast school and they said, "Do you want to be a radio star?" And Adam, I actually did it.
You sure did. We're talking about 40 years. We're talking about 40 years on the airwaves. That's my lifetime. See, I grew up listening to you. I got my musical education from you. I learned about how to be on a microphone from you. Okay. And I just want to thank you from the bottom of my heart. All of my viewers and listeners are so
Oh, you're
excited
welcome.
tonight.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Second of all, you are one of the funniest people I know. For those of you that don't know, Miss Patti has an unbelievable social media presence. And I need to know where you come up with these things. For
a
instance,
lot of things, a lot of things. It's life, um, things I go through, things I see, and it's just kind of like advice, right? But a touch of humor, so that you'll smile and you'll laugh and you're like, yeah, maybe I should follow this advice.
a touch of humor. When I'm having a bad day, I look at your little messages and I spit my food out. For instance, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Patti, you recently said vibrators are great, but they don't buy you drinks or pay your rent.
That's right. There's so many people who are anti, and they're like, I'm going to make it through life. I've got my vibrator. No, you need a little bit more than that.
Okay, we can agree on that. So, also, Miss Patti, you are everywhere I go, and I want to know how you do it. You're on the radio many days a week on WDAS. I
Mm-hmm.
drive around the Philadelphia area. I see your face on billboards. I drive around Philadelphia. I see you on posters at clubs and gatherings. You are everywhere at once. After 40 years in entertainment, how do you stay so active?
Vitamins, water. I'm a stroke survivor, everybody. So the emphasis has been on living better and drinking water and taking a nap when I can. Naps are good.
Yeah, I agree. Now, Miss Patti, I wanted to have you here today. There's a video that you posted the other day that brought me to tears.
Mm-hmm.
It brought me to tears. It really resonated with me. I've thought about it for a few days, and I was hoping that we could speak on a few topics today.
Okay.
Uh, One of the things that really resonated with me, if you're comfortable speaking about it, is like me, you are somebody that's on the microphone all the time. You are a broadcaster. You are an entertainer. People are listening to you and looking to you for your words. Despite the fact that you share beautiful music with us, humor with us, there are days in a broadcaster's life
Mm-hmm.
when it is difficult to be on the microphone. There are days when you wake up and you don't necessarily know exactly what to say to folks.
Yes.
And there are days when necessarily you don't necessarily feel like being funny, and maybe it might be difficult to be inspirational on those days.
Yes. Yes.
If you're willing, I was
Hmm.
wondering if you might speak to this for a moment, how you find the strength as a broadcaster to get out there on video and on the microphone on those days. Where do you find that extra bit of strength to keep you going?
I pray and I ask God. Oops, did I lose you? Okay, I didn't, but we could edit, right? I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
just take a breath
Um,
and start from the top.
it's like the beginning of the week. I said, God, that we're living in troubled times. What can I say to calm somebody, to give them reassurance that it's going to be okay and we can get through this? It was really devastating to watch neighborhoods being destroyed. It really was. Because if you to me, looting is not the answer. When you're looking for racial equality, racial justice, that's not the way to go about it. I live here in Philly. I've lived in Philadelphia my entire life. So to see neighborhoods destroyed, places where I celebrated the grand opening of a supermarket or something like that, and seeing it destroyed, it was very hard. And then just to see that a lot of people just woke up with heavy hearts. You
Yeah.
know, I just pray to God and say, what can I say to ease someone?
I think you've done a beautiful job. You've been very inspirational to people like me who uh, have tried to pursue a life in entertainment and broadcasting, like you.
Mm-hmm.
And we want to be able to speak from our hearts. We want to
Yeah,
be able to lift people up. We want to be able to share some kind of wisdom, but on certain days it's very difficult. Uh,
very.
but I look to you and I'm endlessly inspired. So I want to thank you for sharing that the other day. I'm going to share your video to some of our viewers.
Okay.
I am speaking on my show tonight
Mm-hmm.
about Black protest music.
Okay.
And I'm going all the way back to Billie Holiday.
Mm.
I am going through James Brown. I'm going through Sly and the Family Stone, all the way up to Kendrick Lamar and the music of today.
Okay.
I was wondering if you could speak for a moment and tell me from your perspective what you feel the role of music and these songs that in some cases feel like they were written 2 minutes ago, even if they were written 100 years ago, that speak to a struggle that's always been going on, that's still going on. How do you feel throughout your career and your life this music has been a part of healing and possibly making society a more just place?
Well, I think music is healing. Music brings us all together. The late great Butterball used to say that nothing beats a great song, and he never lied. When you hear a song like a Marvin Gaye, which is like 50 years ago, it sounds like he wrote it just now. When you hear the impressions, people get ready because a
Mm.
change is coming. It sounds like that was written. And this is a song, I think, Adam, that came out in 1968. One of the great Sound of Philadelphia classics, Wake Up Everybody, No More
Harold
Sleeping in
Melvin and the
Bed.
Blue Notes. Yeah.
Yes,
Wake
and
up.
that was, what was that, like 1975?
Yeah. It starts with all those this little intro.
Yes, yes. Uh-huh.
Wake
Yes.
up, everybody. Right?
No more sleeping in
Yeah.
bed. It resonates today. And it was a song that came out in the 70s.
The epitome of Philadelphia soul. Harold Melvin and the Blue Notes with Teddy Pendergrass singing Wake Up Everybody.
Mm-hmm.
I try
Yes.
to communicate to people on this show what the music of Philadelphia is. For those that don't know, they might be in Austria or Australia and they don't know. I feel like you've touched on something. How would you, in a sentence, describe the sound of Philadelphia?
I'm gonna tell you a really funny story. Gamble and Huff went out to California to see Barry Gordy, right?
Hmm.
And that meeting made them come home to really delve into what not only is going on in the world, but how to make Philadelphia a music leader. And they were all about instrumentation. There were live orchestras and musicians in there. You could hear the orchestrations with the song, whether it was a protest song, whether it was a love song, whether it was a dance song. You heard real musicians in the background.
Right.
They gave away, Don Cornelius kind of like brushed them off with TSOP, and he said he didn't want it. And it wound up, that Soul Train theme wound up being one of Gamble and Huff's greatest songs. And when you think about the sound of Philadelphia. So I think it was their music experiences that really taught them, because
Yeah.
they were like, we're going to be like Motown. And Barry Gordy was like, no, you got to do your own thing. Okay, use musicians, but you've got to use your own way. And boy, did they ever.
Oh, so we're talking about groups like the Stylistics, the Delphonics, the OJs,
Billy
Billy
Paul.
Paul, Patti LaBelle, the Blue Notes, we're
Yes.
Bluebells. We're talking about all these fabulous sounds that came out from the '60s to the '70s. Yeah,
Yes.
ain't no stopping us now.
McFadden and Whitehead. You think of Phyllis Hyman. You think of Lou Rawls.
Hmm.
Lou Rawls.
Lou Rawls, the Lady Love, and he was
Mhm.
the voice of Garfield. Do you remember when Garfield
Yes.
sang? He was Lou Rawls. Um, well, would you describe the music of Philadelphia as tough but sweet? That's a word that I like to use.
Maybe because there were so many different messages that came out. One minute you can be making love, and then the next minute you're talking about what's going on, or the next minute you be talking about a heartache, and
Yeah.
you just want to hit the lottery, and hopefully that your life will get better. You could talk about a friend stabbing you in the back. Is the best instrumentation on the OJ's Backstabbers? Is that
Backstabber.
30 the best 38 minutes of an intro when you hear that piano? I love how they celebrated musicians. That's what I loved about the sound of Philadelphia.
People around the world, they watch this show, Tough Cookies. And I want you to know that I have named this show, Tough Cookies, after the people that watch this show and that I collaborate with on this show. To me, you are the ultimate tough cookie. Okay. Philadelphia is a city that's had a lot of problems. There's always problems in this world, in this country.
Yeah.
We face these problems together,
Yes, we have.
and you do so with a smile. You do so with sweetness and love. I want to ask you, Patty, I'm very concerned about the state of our country and where it's headed.
Hmm.
And it's my desire, as I've said to you off camera, to make a difference this year.
Yeah.
I feel like we all need to lift a finger, especially white people in this country need to lift a finger to stop the way that policing is done in this country, and to end police brutality and inequality. I think that uh, it's important at this moment that we all work together.
Yeah, we do. We have to work together, you
What
know.
what can you and I and those around us do this year uh, to make a change? What do you feel that we should be doing better?
Being kinder. There's not enough kindness in the world. And I don't want to use that as a cliche, but there isn't enough kindness. If you don't know that person, try to get to know them. We're all different. Everybody is different. But when you take the time to understand, I think speaking up when you see something that is wrong, Will Smith said, racism has not gone away, it's just being filmed. When you have to speak up, and now people are filming. But I think we have to have a kindness towards each other. You know, I think there needs to be a convenient relationship between citizens and law enforcement, because every cop is not a bad cop. They have parents, they have children, they have families, you know, and there's going to be bad people everywhere, Adam. That's just life. There's just bad people everywhere. But I think if we have just a better understanding and kindness on both parts, when you just try to, I like to be a light, so that the people listen, they're hearing the good music or watching me, you know, with a story, to be that light to maybe brighten someone's day if they're going through something, if they're having a rough time. I think we got to be a light. Okay, everybody can't be a light, but we can certainly be just a little kinder to one another.
Yes, we can. Yes, we can. And you do that. You emanate uh, so much love through all of the work that you do. And I met you in a very special evening where there was a charity event.
Yes.
The charity event was it the who was it, the Urban League? Was it the Urban League?
Yes. Yes.
That we did this charity event together, and you know, this was an event with your boyfriend El DeBarge highlighting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I gotta give him your number.
Yeah.
Um, but this was a charity event in which most of the artists that evening at Temple University, it was rhythm and blues,
Yeah.
gospel with Jasmine Sullivan,
Hmm.
and my friend Chill Moody rap. And
Yes.
we were asked, Low Cut Connie was asked to perform. And I've never felt so much love at a charity event in Philadelphia as I had that night. I have felt that Philadelphia, like many cities, our entertainment industries are so segregated, and
Yes, it is.
it's possibly more segregated than it's been in many decades.
Yeah.
Um, and we've had instances where we're working hard in the industry to put rock and roll and soul music and R&B together in the same room, with gospel music at the same festival, at the same charity event, at the same fundraiser. And sometimes I think, as you know, it's a bit of an uphill battle. But you and I have worked together to make this better in Philadelphia. And I grew up with the music that you play.
Hmm.
This show, Tough Cookies, is a soul music variety show. It's a soul music variety show. And you have been an ambassador for soul music and R&B in this city and around the world. I want to thank you for that.
Oh, thank you.
Before we go, I was wondering if you could speak for a second about the work that you do advocating for stroke awareness. I know it's very close to your heart. You've
Hmm.
done a lot of amazing work in the community, and talk about resilience and finding strength in the face of adversity. Could you speak to us for a second about the work that you're doing?
It was 5 years ago that I suffered a stroke. It was right after my mother died. I took care of my mom for 25 years. Depression is real. And a lot of people don't like to talk about depression. You know, I'm on the radio. I got to make people smile. I got to make them happy. I got to make them laugh. And I wore a mask because I would come to work crying. I really couldn't deal with my mom dying. And I was really in deep denial about her dying. I just wanted her to be with me forever. I would cry on the way to work, but come on, put the mask on and play songs and tell stories and make people happy, but go home to the sadness. 2 weeks after she died, I suffered a stroke. And I'm the type, Adam, I'm go, 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 go. I'm a mom. There's work, taking care of my mom. And we women, we want to be super women. We want to put that cape on and be like, I can do it all. I can cook dinner and do this and play songs and take care of the family and clean the house. And sometimes you can't. You can't be afraid to take your cape off. I suffered a stroke. I lost my vision. The right side of my body went out. I was in a wheelchair. But you know what, Adam? I wanted my life back because God spared my voice. I think of people that we love. They never sang again. A Levi Stubbs from the Four Tops, a Luther Vandross, a Angela Bofield. I said, God, you spared my voice for a reason. I said, you get me out of this wheelchair. I'll spend the rest of my life sharing and telling my story and encouraging, because sometimes, Adam, we want to take on everything. And when you're taking care of your parents, it can be stressful. Doing the balancing act, because you love your parents, but sometimes, the roles reverse. It's like you become the person in charge of your parents. And you never like to see your parents sick.
Right.
So I wanted my life back. And I said I would spend the rest of my life telling people the importance. You got to take care of your stuff. Drink your water, everybody. I know it sounds cliche, but drink your water.
Well, having met you in the last couple of years, I have to tell you, I would never know that you had been through this in your life. You have shared this story with all of us in Philadelphia, and you are a walking example of resilience. You are a walking example of what I call a tough cookie. Okay. And you're tough and you're sweet and you're talented and you're doing all the things. 40 years in broadcasting, 40 years on the mic, you're still everywhere. 40 years still beaming that fabulous smile and light on our community. I thank you. I can't wait till we can be together and I can
I
eat
know.
your banana pudding. I'm so
Yes, I'm going to
tired.
make you something.
I'm so tired of seeing the things that you put online, of the amazing things that you cook while I'm eating my little paleo dog biscuit meals.
No, you're in South Philly. You should be eating some really good Italian dishes.
I should, but we'll go. We'll go and get some spaghetti next time it's possible. But listen,
Yes.
you take care of yourself. We need your voice.
Thank you.
Take care of yourself. You know we love you. You know we
Love you
appreciate you
too.
for 40 years. And you always know that you have a friend in Low Cut Connie. You know that we're going to work together this year to make this
Yes.
city, this state, and this country a better and safer place to live.
Yes.
I wish you and your family nothing but health and safety and happiness. And I love you.
I
Mwah.
love you too. Mwah. Mwah. Bye, everybody.
Bye.